Welcome to Burner Brother Antiques Coffee Talk. We're back.
It's Monday.
It's Monday, Labor Day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Coffee Talk. We are going to just try and continue to answer questions. It's been a good week. Been a busy week for the Antique Center for you guys. You just got back from the lake again.
Wow. Again,
right under the bus.
You got to do it quick.
I mean, I guess.
Hey, tell me this. Memorial Day to Labor Day. Where'd it go?
Oh.
We were talking about that this morning, weren't we?
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning.
Unbelievable how quick it goes.
Yeah. And if you want to do something, go do it. Because time is flying by.
Yes, it is. It really is.
So if you guys aren't familiar with us, first off, I'm Jacob, Jimmy, and Josh, and we own and operate the Heart of Ohio Antique Center, and then Auction Gallery, and some other stuff too, Copper Top Farms and Flowers. And so yeah, we're entrepreneurs, but we also buy and sell lots of antiques. And part of the Coffee Talk is focused on answering questions from this channel, from this YouTube channel. And so we always look back over the last week's questions and we try and answer as many as we can. Yeah. So that's what we want to do. The first question I got coming up is last week we were over at, what was it called? My mind just got interrupted.
New Boston?
New Boston, the Hertzler home.
The
Hertzler home. Yeah. Question about the Hertzler home. There was questions about, hey, how do they keep it was a wallpaper original, and how do they prevent sunlight damage to the artifacts and some stuff like that? Were there filters on the windows? I'm assuming that they close the windows up at night on the insides. I don't know 100%. I don't think the wallpaper was original. I think they've kind of redone that.
I didn't pay that close of attention to see if it was original or not, but I did notice the trim work was all painted still. And
yeah.
So they've probably touched things up, kind of kept it with that original look.
And the hard part about
the floors those were the original floors.
Yeah, and they have
doors and all.
They're trying to keep stuff as original as possible, and if it wasn't original, they try to take it back to that period.
Mm-hmm.
Well, off camera, they were saying that the house has settled a little.
Yeah,
and they're constantly fixing that as well. But they're doing a great job keeping that place up. And
yeah, they are. Well, think about it, Josh. When you have your home,
all the little things.
Yeah, a lot of little things. But then as time goes by, in 100 years from now, they're going to want to have, or 200 years from now, they're going to want to put your home back in its original state. That you might not keep it original the whole time. That's hard to keep stuff original.
Yeah,
we have to revert back to it.
So next question here says, why don't you use moderators and admins on YouTube? We do when we are focused on it and we need to, but when we're doing our pop-up whatnot sales, I think that's what the question was referring to. Often it's like very simple and quick, and I don't have the extra person or two to sit and do the moderating and stuff. So we find it easier just to turn the comments off when we're doing our pop-up whatnot shows. So then outside of that, on the our regular daily post, I can go through and make sure everything's staying kosher. Nobody crazy is getting on there, because it happens when you're live very quick.
Yeah.
A lot of trolls out there. Okay. Hypothetical question: can Canadian and other international buyers bid? Yes, if you're talking about either of our platforms that we sell on, whether it's through HiBid, through burners.com, the invaluable auctions that we do, our HiBid platform, or if you're talking about whatnot sales, it doesn't matter. Anyone can bid from anywhere in the world. And you still have to pay for shipping, obviously, which if you are bidding from out of country and you're buying at the auction gallery, the burners.com sale, you really can check into the shipping ahead of time. That can get expensive. We've had people literally in the far parts of Russia bid on stuff, buy stuff. This has been years ago. It was a $50 item. It was going to cost like $600 to have it shipped. So if you're buying a painting that's like a 4 foot by 3 foot painting, it's like, oh, that's a great buy. It's only $50. Well, that's going to be crated. No matter how you ship that, it's going to be expensive. If you're buying a little piece of jewelry or something small that's easy to ship, obviously that'll be much more feasible. We do offer international bidders or buying for anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but that's the thing now, is that shipping cost is really a big deal.
Definitely a factor.
It's a factor in everything that you're buying now. Because before they didn't have this kind of shipping either. I mean, man, you see people delivering stuff 24/7, 365.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now, a question for Silka, but she's not here. I might be able to help answer this a little bit. Are there some American foods or customs that still seem really weird, like mustard on soft pretzels? Root beer. Silka has always just thought root beer was the craziest, weirdest thing, and she still does. she thinks that's like, what is that stuff? I don't like that stuff.
Well, she'd be surprised then if she could go back to our childhood when we drank root beer. It was real roots.
Real root beer, yeah.
Real root beer. We took roots and sassafras. I mean, for the tea. There was a gentleman that showed us all those real herbs.
Chester.
Chester. Yeah. Oh yeah, Chester.
Yeah,
We used to make
Chester.
all
I mean,
kind
he
of
knew.
fun stuff.
He was a walking encyclopedia of everything outdoors.
Does Silka collect anything, and do you collect anything anymore? I say this often. I try and collect memories today. So for me, it's not about trying to find a certain kind of an item or whatever, but it's more about trying to buy an item that focuses my memory on the experience that we had. Silka, we got a question you need to answer.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
So Silka's coming.
Well, they're missing you. You sat in last week.
Yeah. Now you
I'm
got
sorry,
questions.
I'm back.
You got
but
questions to answer.
Okay, your question was: is there any foods here? You got two questions actually. Are there any foods that you just still find really weird?
Yeah, biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy. I love biscuits and
I
gravy.
don't like biscuits
Oh my
and gravy.
gosh.
She won't make
ripped
it. I have
my
to make
heart
it.
right out.
Man.
None of my family or German friends that have been here liked it either, so I think it must be just a weird taste for German taste buds.
Okay.
That and root beer.
I
You
told
already
him
said
the
that.
root beer already.
You talked about that.
So somebody also asked, do you collect anything?
Not really.
No, that's what I was telling him. I was just explaining that we really just like collect memories more than anything now. If we have an item from an experience that we had we she likes putting pictures, taking pictures now and putting those up, and I'll keep like something from a deal just to remember it by, or we did a video on that farmhouse and I found that little cat. I still have the cat. It's just a weird little $10 cat, but it was the memory of it.
Yeah.
It was. So memories. I like to collect memories. What are those items behind you on the mantle, Silka? That's another one for you.
Those are candlesticks.
Candlesticks. They're forged iron
They're really
candlesticks.
heavy.
Very heavy.
Long.
Next week, here's for next week's Coffee Talk. Will you ever do live auctions again at the Heart? Never say never. It's not in the upcoming plans. We don't see a reason to do that currently. Our platforms online are very successful. They keep us busy. We're way more efficient when we're selling online like that. So I don't see that happening anytime soon. But Emily, do you want to talk about coffee or Copper Top for a second?
You better pick up old Duke there.
Emily, Josh's wife is here. We always have a lot of questions about Josh's wife and Jimmy's wife because they aren't on camera as much. But here you go. Emily is now here.
And there's Duke.
Duke, so
New member of the family.
new member. So you wanted to talk about Copper Top.
I wanted to let everybody know that in November, currently November 4th through the 17th, we have a 20% off deal going. So there's a promotion already on the Airbnb site if you book and want to come visit the Heart.
And Emily, when they look it up, it's just Copper Top House, right? On Airbnb.
The Copper Top House.
The Copper
Yep.
Top House.
In Springfield, Ohio. And in January and February, I'll probably run the same deal. I just can't set the promotion up yet until it's closer to January.
And what's really cool about Copper Top House is you guys furnished it in period antiques.
Yeah.
From the Heart.
Yeah, I mean, there's a mixture, but a lot of period antiques.
A lot of period antiques in there. Obviously not the beds and all that, but there's some really cool decor that are period, and that's completely renovated farmhouse. Got a pond outside.
Yeah. Flowers.
Wildflower
farm.
farm.
Place to walk
And
around.
what a neat addition that he just finished is the
Jimmy and I worked on this.
Copper Top Bridge.
Yeah.
What about the Copper Top Creek?
Yeah, Copper Top
Copper
Creek.
Creek. It looks like copper.
Hooks right into
It is
the pond.
really cool.
Yeah.
The water's so bad it looks like copper.
Hey,
The rust in the water actually turned the whole creek bed like a copper color. So
it
turned
took us a
out,
long
it's really
time
cool.
to paint all them rocks.
Yeah, it did. It turned out really good.
It turned out nice. It's really cool.
All right, here's another question for
fun.
Silka. I
We
think
did
she's
it
got
good.
more questions.
I'm gonna pat
for
our
us
backs,
today.
Jimmy.
Me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys say good.
I think
Silka,
you did.
how does it
You did
feel?
fine.
How does it feel that since Lucas didn't go to college, how do you feel now after he's worked with y'all for a year at the Heart?
I really didn't mind him not going to college part. It was just kind of more of a shock at the time, I feel like, and I'm really loving it now. I mean, what could be better than having him with us every day? So
That's
He's doing
funny.
really
So-
awesome too. Like he has learned so much in one year. It's pretty crazy.
But we were talking about that just before we got on too, about like you said, having him with you every day and working with them and being around. It's harder to get that done now that our kids are older and
Yeah.
they've done doing
Yeah.
their things. But it's awesome to see, like you go and see Joe Lucas every
good
day.
today.
Bam, it's fun.
Yeah.
We mess with them a lot too.
You really get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
They're starting to dish it back. We have
They're
to watch
starting to dish
ourselves
it back.
now.
I know. We have to watch, Josh. One of these days, we're going to be a little older, and they're going to lock the door or something. Or we can't get in. And lock my
Remember, they're
wheelchair
going to
up.
take care of us one day.
Oh yeah.
It'll be
Start
paybacks.
buying them lunch once a week or something.
Go out there, put you on an incline
Something.
hill in your wheelchair, and lock the wheels or something.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Next question. How do you think antique auctions reselling business will do in 5 to 10 years with more and more people struggling with the cost of living? So first off, generally speaking, folks that buy antiques, for the most part, aren't the folks that are trying to set up households, and the cost of living doesn't affect them as much. Generally speaking, in this industry, there was a study I went to, this has been years ago, it's probably different today, but it's probably close. The average person started collecting when they were around 48, and they sell when they're around 65. So later in their life, after their kids are kind of off to college, they're out of high school, off to college, their houses are paid off, that's generally when people start collecting. And if you think about it, in our industry, that's usually the driving force of buyers, is that age group. Not always. A lot of young people are getting into buying and selling right now, which is awesome. But there's always going to be that group of people that have retired, that have secured finances, that are wanting to go and do and have fun and stuff. So it's a great question. Obviously economics will affect our industry, but on the flip side, people always will trade. They will always buy. They will always sell.
Yeah,
There's
even
always going to be
bartering.
movement in the market. Even in the Great Depression, I talked with Bruce. You guys know Bruce Knight was the one that owned the Antique Center before us. He had a mentor that said, told him this. He said during the Great Depression, she made more money buying and selling antiques than any other time. So that lets me know that there's always going to be a cause. Because to think about it, if there's not a lot of money, you're in a recession. What better thing to do is buy and sell used stuff. The new stuff becomes unaffordable, and so our market, the secondary market, gets more expensive as well. So it's really a great market to be in, and it will change through economics. But if you're willing to adapt and change with it, you'll be fine buying and
And
selling.
that's what happens too with trends of things too. When the generational people start getting older, the stuff they liked when they were kids or stuff they had, they kind of want a memory of that back, and so people start gathering those things.
Yeah.
Even like a lunchbox, like metal lunchboxes.
Right.
Those have always been kind of like a trend thing that people can go by, pick it up, and say, "Yeah, I remember having that in
Right.
school when I was a kid." That brings back that memory, and those are good memories. So people will like to have those things,
Yeah.
toys.
Do any of your employees have booths or showcases? Yeah,
A lot of them.
quite a few. I think that's part of being an employee out there. A lot of our employees love being out there, especially our retired employees. They have a booth or showcase. They're like, look, I'm bored. I just want to come out and help and work. And plus, they understand the market and the industry. Yeah, we have quite a few that do. Okay, Jimmy, here you go. How about a treasure hunt at the Heart for Jimmy's mug?
Hey, we have one
That'd be
daily.
a constant treasure hunt. He loses it every day.
Yeah, we have one daily, but
Free cookie.
usually me and Josh looking for it.
Or free Coca-Cola.
But yeah, we might have to arrange something to maybe.
If you find the Jimmy Cup.
Yeah, if you find the Jimmy Cup, you come up
That's
and
funny.
redeem it for a chocolate chip cookie. Because I'd like to have it back. I don't lose it on purpose.
Does George know about the signed document you have at the Heart? I don't know. We've got a lot of really great signed documents. Matter of fact, we've got one of the most incredible documents I've ever seen. It's we have an original document with every framed member of the original signing of the Constitution for sale at the Antique Center. So it's not a copy of the Constitution, but it's the individual clippings of the names. They're all authenticated, framed in one big frame, came out of a museum in Pennsylvania. And that includes George Washington.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Think
all
about
those
that.
signatures. I mean, they're authentic signatures that have been
Taken
taken
off
other pieces
stuff.
of
Of-
work,
yeah.
papers or whatever. But it's
But they're all
unbelievable.
there.
My gosh,
And they're
It is.
framed together.
Yeah, they're all framed. It's beautiful.
And I didn't
It's
look,
really
but
something.
does he have them in the order that they signed the Constitution?
know.
I don't.
But I
think
know
so.
they're there.
I think it's kind of done like, I don't want to say order of importance, but kind of order of
Order
importance.
of where they stood.
Yeah.
I mean, when I looked up there and I seen that, I was like, George Washington.
I
Wow,
know.
he signed that piece of paper.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Very,
I mean,
very
it's
interesting.
wild.
Yeah, there's some amazing things that have been happening at the Antique Center. We've been really working hard to bring in some pretty rare stuff, as well as the other goods. So you can come now to the Antique Center. You can find $1 and $2 and $3 items, and you can find $100,000 items now. That's an amazing change that we've been able to really help push. Is getting a more broad scale of items in the Antique Center. And we're selling stuff every day. There's, hundreds or thousands of items that sell every single day, but there's that many that come in every day, any given day.
Well, when you can, I find it pretty fascinating that you can go in there and you can find a piece that you can't find in a museum.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you have pieces that museums would love to have.
yeah.
Well, you think about that. Every signature in one place of the Declaration of Independence, outside of being
Outside
on
of
the
the actual
Declaration,
Declaration,
where
right.
can you find that in anywhere in the world? I don't know. Maybe there's another one in existence. I really have no idea. Pretty rare piece.
All right, I'm confused. Was it the Declaration or the Constitution?
Constitution.
It's
Constitution.
I said Declaration. I meant
Well, I
Constitution.
messed up. Well, because I was going
Yeah, it's
through
the
the signatures last
Constitution. Yeah.
time, and I was like,
The Constitution.
That one's not on
"That's
there.
not on there." Jacob, he corrected me right away though. I was like, "Oh, John Hancock." Hold on, no, John Hancock was the Declaration.
Yeah, that was
of
on the
Independence,
Declaration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
not the Constitution.
We're talking
Ben
about the
Franklin-
Constitution.
Yeah,
If I
it's
said
the Constitution.
If I said Declaration, I meant Constitution.
Yeah, but Ben Franklin's on there.
That's
That's a hard
on
signature.
both. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
He's on both.
Love this video with Silka. Hey Jacob, can you please tell us how you met Silka and how did you make your way to Europe? So yeah, the young age. Okay, so this question is talking about how Silka and I met. When I was 17, I went to visit a foreign exchange student from our high school, and Silka and him were their families were friends and they were neighbors, and that's how I met her for the first time. We just kind of started talking. I actually met her first at her house. We went swimming at her parents' home, and that was in 1993. I was 17 years old. I turned 18 on that trip. She gave me a bottle of champagne. Still sticks to my head. My first alcoholic beverage someone gave to me as a gift. I'm like, what? 17. That doesn't happen very often. Jimmy, this is for you. What does the 3-second t-shirt mean?
Well, that's our whatnot.
Yeah.
Janet got us those, and we had our. Josh actually has a. Was yours 4?
I think mine's 3.
You're
3
2.
or 2?
I'm 3. You're 2, and Jacob was 1. Or
I
right?
think mine's 3.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm 2.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, I
there's
am
3,
too.
2, and 1.
Yeah, Josh is 3. I'm 2, and you're 1. That's it.
Yeah.
It was,
What was
when
Janet's?
people
Was
see
she-
it out and I wear it out, they're like, "What's the 3 second mean?" I said, well, "It's 3 seconds to death."
It's our sudden
They're like,
death
what
shirt.
game is that? I was like, "No, it's not a game.
Don't hit the start button.
It's our whatnot shirts." And Janet had it made. Yeah, and it's we count down. It was a countdown mode.
Yeah.
We would count down. So
On
because we
Whatnot.
sell when he sells on whatnot, most of the time it is 15 seconds, sudden death, everything's going, and when what we do the jewelry and stuff like that. So, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what he's referring to is on Whatnot, there's an option where you can hit sudden death, and so the clock starts at 15 and goes to 0, and whoever is winning the bid at 0 wins the item. It's kind of a fun. It's not gambling, but it's kind of a entertaining buying, if that makes sense, or like an adrenaline rush
it's an
buying
adrenaline.
because you're trying to get that item. And
And talk about fitting us. I remember throughout the years how many items we sell that hour. Like
Right.
that was, everything was timed
Everything
for
was
us
timed.
throughout the years. So this was like
perfect.
It's like
really, 10 seconds. Let's go. 10.
I mean, our dad worked on an assembly line. You know,
yeah.
and everything was timed, and as if you didn't get your stuff done as the truck passed by, he was like, I mean, that's how our lives were.
Yeah.
I mean, when we did stuff, it was
Get it done.
get it done. You didn't. It was not how long will this take. It was how long will it take to get it done.
Here's another one for you.
Uh-oh.
Is the original picture a person wearing a Confederate soldier uniform?
No,
That's
that is
talking about the uniform when you
Yeah, when I did
at
the
heart.
whatnot, that's a
Whatnot
union uniform. That is a standard union uniform.
Yeah,
That was a Halloween costume, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Halloween costume.
Yeah. It's a Halloween
store.
Got it at the store.
so
We
on-
got a phenomenal
on-
Halloween store.
On Fridays, if
they
you're not
do.
familiar with this, every Friday we try and have a bulk jewelry auction, and Jimmy always dresses as a character, or he is a character. I don't know what he is. He plays dress and tell.
Dress and tell, yeah. I get to go out of character and be someone else.
Do I know why Carnival Glass is called Carnival Glass? I am assuming that it's the same reason that we call Carnival Wares Carnival Ware, and I did not research this, so somebody in the chat will probably have a way better answer. But at the old carnivals, a lot of times people could win an item, a piece of chalkware. I'm assuming that Carnival Glass has that same meaning. At the beginning, when there was carnivals going all around, you go and you pay your 10 cents, 20 cents to shoot a ball, or throw a ball, or do something, and the prize would be this thing. That's how carnival ware, like the chalkwares and stuff we call carnival wares, got their name. I am assuming it's the same for Carnival Glass, but that could be completely wrong.
But someone please fact check this. Jacob's not wrong very often.
Well, I might be completely wrong on that.
And I like it when someone can say, no, it's this. And I'm like, it's something he didn't know.
Trust me, I don't know very much.
Yeah. I told you don't know everything about antiques.
The more I know, the less I know. The more I realize I don't know much. Okay, here's another question, Josh, for you. Did your team win Friday night?
No, they're in a, we'll call it a rebuilding year. They're very young.
We've only got 2 seniors or 3 seniors.
Yeah, there's I think 3 seniors and one of them's hurt. So upperclassmen wise, I think they're like 10 upperclassmen. Yeah. So it's a rough, and we're in a good conference.
Yeah,
so
pretty competitive conference.
But the cool thing is, Dino gets to play.
Yeah, so my son's had an ankle injury for the past 7 weeks now.
Yeah.
So he's finally back to 100, to 100%. So we'll get to see him Friday and Saturday, see what he's got.
That's cool. Okay, next question says, I would love to have seen the Native American encampment. We actually went over there to video, and there wasn't a whole lot set up when we walked in, and it was still early.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were quite ready for us, but we'll try and get that next year when we go over to the Fair of New Boston. So if you didn't watch the Fair of New Boston video, you got to watch it. Pretty crazy stuff.
That gives you something to look forward to.
How awesome was that?
Oh, it was great. I'm telling you, I enjoyed it. I love that. That was like
Jim was a natural. I don't know if you got to watch it, but I was impressed.
He did good.
I was impressed.
That was the highlight of my month, I think, going over there. But
Commanding
there was a lot
the
of
can.
neat stuff, though.
Yes.
I mean, you walked around and got to look at all of it. It's just really
Did you buy
cool.
a hat?
Not yet. Well,
there was box makers.
Yeah.
I mean, all the ironworks. There were so many cool things.
yeah, the things there's antiques that we've seen out at the Heart, and you're like, okay, are they making those? Like the square nails and the stuff,
Yeah.
the old, they were doing it the old-fashioned way, too, with the fire and the coal, and they had the big puffer going, and he's hammering it out.
Yeah. Sat there and watched that for a few minutes. He's sitting there making links.
Yeah, making links and candlesticks.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking us to film some of the native items in the antique center and any kind of literally dinosaur type stuff. We have some of that. We actually sold last week petrified dinosaur dung. It sold for like $100 and some. It was a slice.
We're selling crap at the antique center.
We are. We did.
Literally selling crap.
We did last week. I was shocked by it. I was like, "What is that?" And they're like, "Oh, that's a petrified dinosaur dung." And I'm like, "Really?" Because I thought it was really cool looking.
If I ask you, you got a bunch of crap out there, Josh? So yeah.
Oh, it was funny. James had it up sniffing it and tasted it, and then found out it was done. It's like, oh.
I was going to say, who actually found out? I mean, how do you authenticate dung?
Well,
I mean,
I guess you give it the sniff test.
and my question is,
We've digressed.
how do you
Shows
know
where we're at.
I don't know how you know what that even tastes or smell like in the first
Why would
place.
you want to taste or smell it?
What the world?
It's like it's like a stone. It looked like a piece of stone.
Yeah, I was say the price
pretty-
looked like a piece of stone.
It was really, really interesting colors, and I don't know. You guys, we're gone. Okay, Coffee Talk. Next week we'll have more questions and answers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We're out here.